Hey everyone! I am so excited about these new flat bottom stuffies that we're doing. So this one is pretty simple. It's 3 hoops. Here I'm showing you my hoop, my material. You want 2 main fabrics, 2 pieces for your bottom panel, your beak, your comb, your head, and the wing. This is the chicken. So here I'm just writing down what each part is. I do have this pretty sped up so that the video is not too long. So this is the bottom, and I'm saying right there is the opening. Put your fabric, your bottom panel fabric, right side up, and this is a cutting guide. You're not going to cut it. You're actually going to cut about a quarter, half an inch past that line when you cut it. Put your second bottom panel fabric right side face down, and this is the final tack down. This is the opening of your stuffy. Now we're going to move over to the machine. We're going to put the beak fabrics and the comb fabrics. Again, I kind of just fast forward through all this because I am assuming that you guys have stitched before. If not, I'm sorry if it's too fast. But I feel like I go so slow on a lot of things, so I kind of sped this one up a little bit. So there's your beak and there's your comb. And we're going to re-hoop our stabilizer for hoop 2. Now, when you cut this, like I said, you want to leave about quarter inch, half inch away from that cutting guide. It's just a guide, really. And on the other side, I repeat, that's your opening right there. So you want to leave a little bit of a tag so you have something to sew closed. I find it easier, at least. So put that aside. You have your comb and you have your beak. They should be both turned right side out. All right, here is the chicken. Step 1 is on your stabilizer so you know where to put your fabric. And float your fabric right side up. Here I'm saying quite a lot, by the way. I'm glad I'm recording over this, but I don't normally use water-soluble stabilizer on top of my fabric like this. I was hoping it would show the stitches better. I'm just going to go ahead and run all the appliques that need to be on this, and it'll just show up. Now that the applique and detail stitches are done on hoop 2, we're going to add the bottom panel to it. We have those markers created on step 2. This is, if you can envision, the line of the bottom panel going straight across those 2 markers there. So I currently have it right sides out or wrong sides together, and create that illusion of a straight line there between those markers. And I'm going to flip up part of it, make sure that my opening is away from the next area of stitching, which is along the bottom, the very bottom of that. So that's the final tack down along the bottom of hoop 2. We can remove it from hoop and prepare for our final hoop. Yay, it's coming along. Fabulous. I thought it'd be really fun to go ahead and show all the stitches. It's really quick. I sped it up to, I don't even know what the settings were, over 1,000 times fast to show it. This is the wing applique. If it makes you dizzy, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to. I thought it'd be fun to watch it. I like watching videos that are like this, that are really fast, but I'm no pro at making these videos, so I enjoy creating embroidery designs, but I'm hoping that this video will help those who venture into the flat bottom stuffies, because we have a few of them coming out. Okay, so here's a perfect spot to put water-soluble stabilizer. I have very fluffy fabric, and I want to make sure my satin stitches are smooth and don't fall into the fluffy fabric, so I use water-soluble stabilizer there. I also use a vacuum, a handheld vacuum. I don't know if you saw that. It's just a cheap one on Amazon, and it helps with all the fluff. So you now have your right side and your left side. We got to add our parts. So whenever there's limbs, usually, normally, but your tutorial will tell you one way or the other, but you normally will put it, how do you want it to look? And then we say flip it over side like that. Really quick, I wanted to say for the comb, I'm actually going to do a little, like I'm folding it over and then over again, just giving it a little crease right there. Not a big one. And I'm not folding it in half. I'm just doing like a Z, if it were. Like that's how I see it as. Like that. So that it kind of fans out more. Okay, step 18. So this was 16 to tack down your beak, 17 to tack down your comb, and step 18, there's like a little stitch right here. You do not have to run that stitch. That stitch is there so that it moves it out of the way before you go down here, because you don't want the needle to catch on anything. So that's why I call it a moving marker, so it moves it over. All right, it's time to actually put this together. Yay! All right. Make sure that your beak and your comb are inside that step 1 piece. You don't want to get it like caught on there. Or maybe you do. Like maybe that's the look you're after, and that's totally fine. That's the beautiful thing about embroidery. You can make it look how you want it to look. Choose the colors you want to choose. So I'm just gonna take that down. All right. So you want to put right sides together, and there's no matching markers on this particular design. You're going to just use the satin stitches as your matched up place. So I match up that satin stitch, I match up that satin stitch, and I match up those markers that were put there on step 2 on both hoops. So I'll fast forward this as I do that and pin it in place. Okay, so this next step, step 19, is going to stitch all the way around the bird, and it's going to stop at those 2 places. It'll start at this on my right side, go all the way around, and it'll stop there. So make sure that this flat part here is down. You don't want it to be tucked in. No, you want it to stay down, out of the way as we stitch, and that'll actually help this stay flatter. Alright, I was pulling on this a little bit, so ignore. Alright, that's tacked down, so you don't need those. I always poke myself with them. Alright, so this is totally loose now. Yay! So now you're going to take it and flip this up and smooth that out nice and smooth. Make sure that your opening excess fabric is out of the way and that this covers your placement line on step 2. I'm sorry it's shaking. My arm keeps hitting my camera arm. Anyway, so I'm just straightening it out. And because I am afraid that my machine's, I'm going to tape that up so that it doesn't fall over. There. Now I know that it won't fall over. And let's run that stitch. Alright, so step 20, there's a moving marker over here to, again, just get it in place. It moves the needle over so that you can flatten this out. And then it'll stitch over here, and step 22 is a stopping star, so that means you can take it off of your machine. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of it super fast, of course. Sorry it's a little off center. Again, I'm not a professional movie maker, so I'm cutting around and making slits on anywhere there's a corner curve so that my fabric will be smooth once I turn it right side out and stuff it. I cleaned up my mess. Time to stuff it with polyfill or whatever stuffing I have. This is just for my family, my kids. They love them. Oh, time to do some sewing. All right, I have this going really fast, and there's going to be a spot where I actually show you real time how slow I'm actually going. So you ready for this? And here it is. This is real time. This is how slow I'm actually sewing. I just grab a little piece of fabric. I actually love doing this, by the way. I don't know if everyone likes hand sewing, but I find it very soothing as long as my carpal tunnel, darn me, not holding my mouse and typing correctly. I do have carpal tunnel already acting up, but we won't go there. Anyway, I really do like hand sewing though. I find it very soothing. So there, I tightened it a little bit on one side of the string. I'm tightening the other string and I'm straightening out my line. And I do this repeatedly throughout the whole process of closing my stuffies to get a straight stitch line for my kids, which is just my kids. What's the point? But you know, in all things, put forth the energy for as good as you can, right? Anyway, let's go a little fast again. I actually go back and forth. I go all the way across my opening and I flip it over and go all the way across the other direction again, because I have 5 kids and if I don't secure it really well, the stitches will come out. So I make sure I go back and forth quite a lot on closing my stuffies. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I hope you enjoy this cute new stuffy and more to come. See you later. Bye.